my first question is, tell me your name and tell me a little bit about yourself.
Cool. So I'm Tyler Majors. I grew up in Granger County, which is a neighboring county to where Renovatus is. Born and raised on a cattle farm. Never wanted to farm, and found myself in a church with some great friends in high school after becoming a Christian, and pursued that diligently throughout high school and then college. And I was more interested in the Bible than anything else, so I sought to study it as best I could. So I went to Carson-Newman College, studied religion, which is biblical studies, and studied philosophy. And then after graduating at Carson-Newman, I went to Southern Seminary, where I did an MDiv in biblical studies, training to be a pastor, more or less, and then moved back to East Tennessee for family reasons mainly, and then also to minister in this area to whatever capacity that I could possibly do that. And then I started another degree in the last year. It's called THM. It's mainly in systematic theology, so that's where I'm at with academics. And then I've been at Renovatus for a little over a year now as the farm manager. As I was hired, Pete calls me the farm minister. So I am able to minister to the plants. I get to manage the plants and the farm, and then also I get to minister to the guys in the program, get to lead Bible studies, get to teach the Bible, get to teach Christian theology, and so yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what a normal farming day looks like.
A normal farming day is come in, check all the plants, make sure everything's alive and looking good. Make any adjustments as needed. This would be a typical day at this time of year. It's a little slower. It's in the middle of January. And then make sure all animals are fed. And then any jobs or any tasks that need to be done on the farm, just simply work through those, preparing for the season to come. The days look a lot different when it's summer. It's usually get here, pick okra, water all the plants, fertilize everything, maybe seed more things, pick beans. So, and that's pretty much takes up the entire day. So more or less that's the day. But when it comes to farming, there's always something to do and you never get done. So the list is always longer than the day. So there's always something left at the end of the day to do. And there's always things that you can just never get to. So that's just farming in a nutshell, though. So.
Cool. Okay. So next question. This is kind of from the top of my head, but I was just thinking. Okay. First, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and ask the ones that I'd asked you before.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, explain your worst day on the farm, or just overall in working with Renovatus. What did the worst day look like?
Yeah. There's working in ministry certainly is up and down. You know, some days are better than other days, which that's life, but ministry is especially that way because you're dealing with human beings and you're dealing with the heaviest parts of what it means to be a human being. And I would say the hardest day for me was after spending roughly 5 months really pouring into this gentleman that was in the program and building a relationship with him. It just devolved within a matter of days, if not hours, and it resulted in this man being forced to leave the program and sitting with Pete on the pavilion having to watch this man leave in a police vehicle, likely facing somewhere in the range of 20 years of prison time, was probably the roughest moment, the roughest day that I've had to experience on the farm. If it were, that day I told Pete, and I've said it many times, but if it were only just vegetables, it would be so simple and so easy. Though farming is difficult, but the weightier matters of life and death are before us every day. And I got to watch one of the heaviest moments of my life, to watch that man choose what I would say is choose a life of misery over a life of goodness and beauty. So that was That was easily the hardest day.
Describe the best day.
The best day. The best day. What are those, Pete? The best day. I would say. In the past year, I would say the best day was the sweet potato harvest. Honestly, we had the program was full of people. We had so many sweet potatoes that we had put out, and we harvested somewhere in the range of 1,600 pounds of sweet potatoes, and we're still eating them. And it's January. We harvested them in late September, October, and that was just a sweet season, a sweet time, a sweet day to see the fruit of your labor in a real way, that we planted those 100 days before, and to let those sit for a little while, and then to enjoy sweet potatoes even hopefully today, but we'll see. That was definitely a sweet day.
Awesome. Okay, anything else that you'd like to share or talk about? Floor's all yours.
The floor is all mine. One of my inspirations or role models or whatever you want to call it in life is Wendell Berry, and I think he has a beautiful way of helping us see the world in a new light, and seeing that the world God has made is not just this is normal and this is above the normal, this is supernatural. And one of his famous quotes is, there are no sacred places, there are no unsacred places, there are only sacred places and desecrated places. So every place is sacred. It's made by God, it's sacred. So I think it's a beautiful way to look at the world, even if you're a farmer or whatever it may be, but all places are sacred. So,
okay.
Yeah.